A spaceship travels at the speed of light through the universe, navigating multiple wormholes to reach Vega, 26 light-years away. During the journey, the astronaut witnesses various cosmic civilizations, leaving him utterly astonished. The entire trip takes 18 hours. However, upon returning to Earth, he discovers that less than a second has passed, and it seems as though he never left. What exactly is going on? Ellie is an astronomer whose life's dream is to find signals from extraterrestrial civilizations, proving that humanity is not alone in the universe. One night, as she lies under the starry sky listening intently, she suddenly hears a strong and rhythmic sound, potentially the alien signal she has been searching for decades. Upon receiving the news, her colleagues in the studio hurriedly activate all detection equipment. When all satellite antennas lock onto a specific coordinate, they find the signal originates from Vega in the constellation Lyra, 26 light-years away. Listening closely to the signal's fluctuations, they are amazed to find that the frequency of the signal conveys prime numbers. They believe that mathematics is the universal language, indicating the signal must be from an intelligent civilization. The news garners global attention, and security forces promptly arrive at the base. As everyone worries whether this discovery is a blessing or a curse, Ellie suddenly notices a change in the signal's frequency, suggesting it could now be a video signal. After adjustments, they manage to convert the signal into an image, which shockingly turns out to be the opening ceremony of the 1936 Berlin Olympics. This footage is significant, as it was the first television signal Earth sent into space. Given that it takes 26 light-years for the signal to reach Vega, and another 26 to return, the aliens must have responded immediately upon receiving it. But why would they do this? Is it just to show that they received our signal? The team meticulously studies the video signal and discovers that the original broadcast from Earth had only 25 frames per second. But the signal returned from the alien civilization contains 50 frames per second. This is a significant discovery. The additional 25 frames contain a set of hidden data, amounting to 60,000 pages in total. Decoding this data proves challenging, and just when they are at their wits' end, a phone call changes everything. The caller is Hardin, an investor in the project to explore extraterrestrial civilizations. Formerly an engineer, he now commands a vast commercial empire and had funded Ellie's project years ago. He shares that his team has already made progress in decrypting the alien data. Guided by Hardin, Ellie realizes that the data must be decoded from a three-dimensional perspective. Clearly, the Vega civilization has unlocked more dimensions and intended to convey the data in the simplest way possible, not anticipating the confusion it would cause humans. Once decoded, they discover it's an engineering blueprint, though it's unclear what could be constructed with it based on current human technology. Ellie speculates that it might be a form of transportation, an invitation from the alien civilization to humanity. However, government officials fear it could be a means for the aliens to destroy humanity. Ellie quickly dismisses this notion, arguing that with their advanced technology, the Vega civilization would not bother with such a convoluted plan merely to annihilate a less advanced species. At this moment, an elderly professor poses a probing question, asking if one would feel guilty for eliminating microbes, suggesting that sometimes actions are taken just for amusement. Ellie is momentarily at a loss for words. Despite the debate, nations eventually decide to invest all necessary resources to construct this mysterious aircraft. Time passes and the machine is completed. As Ellie had predicted, it indeed turns out to be a spacecraft capable of reaching the speed of light. Unfortunately, the spacecraft can only accommodate one astronaut. The question arises, who will represent humanity in making contact with this extraterrestrial civilization? After extensive screening, Ellie and the elderly professor emerge as the most competitive candidates. However, in the final round of selection, Ellie's boyfriend poses a soul-searching question. Do you believe in God? In a country where over 80% are religious believers, not believing in God could lose her much support. Ellie, being a scientist with no belief in deities, finds it difficult to claim otherwise. Ultimately, she is not chosen, and the eloquent professor is selected. Her boyfriend had intentionally influenced this outcome, aware that according to Einstein's theory of relativity, although a round trip to Vega at light speed would seem to take over 50 years from Earth's perspective, it would only feel like 4 years to the traveler. He feared losing Ellie permanently, knowing her return would mean everyone she knew would be gone. Finally, the day to launch the spacecraft arrives, which will generate forces that humanity cannot comprehend, perhaps utilizing multidimensional spaces or wormholes. As the machine is activated for the first time, marking a historic moment, the professor is ready to embark. At this moment, a religious zealot disguised as a security guard sneaks in. Believing that the existence of aliens could undermine faith in God, the zealot decides to prevent the launch. He detonates a large amount of explosives on himself, instantly destroying the entire spacecraft system. Years of effort are obliterated in an instant, and Ellie's lifelong dream seems shattered. As Ellie is overwhelmed with despair, Hardin brings good news. Suffering from a terminal illness, he has secluded himself in space where the low speed and low oxygen can slow his disease. He shows Ellie something astonishing, a second light-speed spacecraft built as a backup in Hokkaido using almost all his wealth. He believes that Ellie is the most suitable person for the mission. Realizing he cannot deter her determination, her boyfriend tells her to always remember the way back home. Ellie approaches the spacecraft, slightly nervous as she stands before the spinning rings, dream about to be realized. All is set for recording. Is success within reach this time? As the hatch slowly closes, the high-precision technology perfectly aligns the craft's chamber with the door. The launch commences, the booster rockets ignite, and the ultra-high-speed water drill creates a strange magnetic field, disrupting communication devices. The central ring emits a bizarre glow, causing slight changes in the space within and above the cabin, almost revealing a tunnel. While the command center cannot see this, the spectacle leaves them in awe. As the energy reaches its peak, Ellie's spacecraft begins its descent into the launcher. And incredibly, light penetrates the cabin, allowing her to see the outside scenery. It appears she is traversing a space-time tunnel. Despite her best efforts to maintain communication with command, it proves futile at light speed. In an instant, she finds herself in an endless starry sky, facing a massive vortex that seems to be a wormhole, leading into an incomprehensible tunnel. After what feels like an eternity, she sees a galaxy ahead, the apparent end of this wormhole journey. Soon, the spacecraft stops amidst a blue glow and she can see a bright star in the distance. Before long, another flash of light indicates that she has traveled through the wormhole to another launcher, suggesting the presence of civilization. The previous location was merely a transit point. Now she enters another wormhole, moving even faster, feeling as if her soul might detach. After an indeterminate period, the cabin stabilizes again, revealing a system with 4 suns. Looking down, she sees lights on a planet below. Suddenly, space distorts, indicating yet another transit station. She enters another wormhole, this one with even more intense vibrations, disregarding safety. Fortunately, the spacecraft stabilizes again. Outside is a stunningly beautiful galaxy, an indescribable wonderland. The intense spatial travel causes Ellie to fall asleep, and when she awakens, she finds herself on a beautiful beach under a nebula that seems within reach yet far away. As she wonders about her surroundings, a blurry figure appears in the distance. Ellie, tense, quickly adjusts her equipment. As the figure approaches, she realizes it is her deceased father, a sight she struggles to believe. However, her rational mind soon deduces the reason. The alien being must have different life characteristics but possesses highly advanced civilization capabilities. They can download and analyze memories to communicate directly in the mind. The image of her father appears to facilitate a more pleasant conversation, and even the beach setting is from her fondest memories. The alien informs Ellie that many civilizations have communicated with them over eons, evidenced by the transit stations. The Lightspeed spacecraft was not their invention but left by a more advanced supercivilization. The cosmic era requires the collective effort of all civilizations to avoid the feeling of loneliness. Establishing contact is just the first step. There is a long path ahead. The alien advises Ellie to be patient and take it slowly. After this, numerous civilizations rapidly arrive and depart through the wormholes. A flash of light later, Ellie finds herself back on Earth. The capsule falls into the water, communication is restored, and she urgently inquires how long she was gone. However, command states she never left. The surrounding footage shows the capsule simply passed through the launcher and fell, the launch having failed, all within less than a second. Yet Ellie firmly believes she traveled the cosmos for about 18 hours, although her recorder captured nothing. A hearing is immediately convened, where authorities publicly dismiss her story as a hallucination, a claim beyond understanding. Ellie, unable to defend herself, leaves the hearing confronted by skeptical reporters, finding support only in her deeply loving boyfriend, ironically a theologian. This restores her faith in life. Whenever asked if extraterrestrial life exists, she responds with a saying from her father, "The universe is so vast it would be a waste if humans were the only inhabitants." Whether those 18 hours were a hallucination remains ambiguous. The government elite know the truth. The recorder captured nothing but mysteriously ran for exactly 18 hours. They choose to keep this secret to avoid panic and suspicion. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.